Blood for the blood gods, calls for the throne of corn. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it's time for chaos mode training, and today was chest and tricep day. These are kind of areas that need to be prioritized, kind of like my shoulders, so I do a fair amount of volume, a little more than some of my other body parts. And today I decided I really want to hit all the angles. My shoulders are starting to get a little more mobility again, now that I've been doing all the hanging leg raises, holding onto it, doing pullovers. So I'm like, I wanted to work some incline bench in today, see how it felt and see if everything could touch good, and everything was really good. So for the flat bench, I didn't do a top heavy set. I felt really strong though, and I ended up doing 3 sets of 10 with my really wide grip. Again, this is for those curious how wide. This is pointer finger on the rings, not really using an arch, trying to stay pretty flat back. And instead of pausing, I just did very light touch and go. As you guys will notice, we touch just very light, so there's no bouncing, mainly because I wanted to see if I can feel a little more stretch reflex on this. I feel like my pause work almost works a lot better just for my heavy stuff, when I do those really heavy top sets. But I feel like I do get a great chest pump and stretch when I do it this way. Got a lot of workload. My chest felt really good doing it this way. Obviously near the end it got very, very fatiguing, because these are very close to limit sets for me. I could maybe squeeze out 11 on some of them, but the last set it felt grindy, so it was pretty much a 0 rep in reserve. And again, rather than doing the pauses on the chest to get there, I kind of pause at the top now if I'm going to do the touch and go type. And again, you see me start taking a little more pauses sometimes when I'm starting to feel that fatigue set in up at the top. Because again, less tension there, I can hold it longer, get a good breath, bring it back down. But right there, you see that bar slowing down? That's, again, where you know that you're very close to failure. All right, incline, did the same thing on these, right? We did the same thing on these, but I did a really wide grip. This is wider than I can normally do on incline, and it didn't hurt. And everything moved in. I've had no trouble touching my chest this way. So this tells me a lot about my flexibility, and my shoulders are improving. Are doing quite a bit better. And I managed to get 10s on all these. Now granted, you guys have seen me work with 225, and I'd like to eventually get to where I can just do regular rep work with 315 on the flat bench. Because at one time I hit 8 reps with it, but I could do work sets and then maybe get these up to 225 like this. But the thing is, everything is really wide grip now, and I didn't used to bench that way. Even when I hit those biggest numbers, I'm trying to work my chest, right? Trying to work the chest. So this ended up being 3 sets of 10. These were hard. Again, totally different feel in my chest from the flat bench. Felt that really good upper chest stimulus. Felt a great stretch in it, great pump. Everything was burning. By the end of the first set of these, my chest was on fire. Haven't done incline in a few weeks. So it felt really good to do this, and kind of giving you guys a couple different angles. Also, the scale, I'm down to 214, so we're continuing to drop weight. I've had some people say, why are you going to cut so slow? I'm like, but I'm not. Really not cutting slow. I've been losing more than a pound a week, consistently for a little while. So, and on some of these weeks have been 2 pounds. So I don't think that's slow at all. It's close to 1% of my body weight on a weekly basis. But yeah, the incline, this felt good. And I think we can see the cut is starting to show more. That waistline is tightening up. Even that loose skin is starting to get tighter. And as I lose body fat, I think it's going to continue to do so. Again, something I know based upon when I've done water cuts. I decided to try decline bench. I have not done a decline bench, I bet, in 20 years. These were very difficult to set up, and it's because I don't have a bench that lets me lock my legs in, so balance was a little off. And so I'm going to debate if I want to leave these in. They felt really good. I felt the whole outer chest. A lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't count, it's reducing the range of motion. But with that really wide grip that I'm using, man, I felt just that outer edge of the pec. So I don't know if we would call that then our lower chest. But whereas when I feel the whole upper chest tremendously on the incline, I felt that outer edge, the whole outer pec. And I'm at the point where I don't think that I need to emphasize incline work per se. I feel like my whole chest could stand to come up. My bench would probably get better. The interesting thing on this one, when I look at how this feels and the groove, where I tend to struggle sometimes on a heavy bench it does feel like this exercise works that area super hard. And I was also weak at it. I mean, I struggled with 225. I just did 3 sets of 10 on the flat bench, with a nice long range of motion. Even though this is slightly reduced, just with that bar path and everything, I struggled with 6 to 8 reps with 225. Now, it could also be because my chest was very fatigued from 6 sets of other pressing. And again, keeping in mind this is all chest dominant. And that's what I'm going to do with this. I've decided I don't want to isolate the chest because I really need more tricep. My triceps need to come up a lot. They're a major weak link for me. So I want to do, I think, only pressing, but I'm also not going to focus on triceps so much with the pressing. They need to be chest exercises. But I could definitely feel it by the time I got to my tricep work today. You get to this and it's like, oh man, you can tell my triceps did get worked on all the pressing. Like 9 sets of pressing, this stuff felt a little bit harder because I think I've gotten like maybe 12 or 13 reps at the best with this weight. I got like 11 and 10 and 10. And the last reps were hard. So again, I'm almost cheating that last rep. So we know it pretty much counts as failure. If I'm having to change bar paths to lock the rep out, the muscle's pretty much failed. And I'm also happier with the way I'm looking today. I mean, I'm not perfect. Obviously, we have more body fat to lose, more loose skin to lose. Weak points to bring up, things like, arms in general, but specifically triceps. But I'm getting pretty happy with the way things are going. And I've had people ask me how long is the cut going to be. I'm like, cut's going to be till I double or triple my followers on YouTube's and all my other platforms. I need to look good enough to where that stuff happens. And then maybe I'll end the cut and do a lean bulk. Right? I'm thinking I'm going to have to get down to 200 pounds. So I'm down to 214 now. Pretty much, you guys have not seen me lighter than 214 in many, many, many years. I think the last time, other than weigh-ins, like meet weigh-ins, but those meet weigh-ins, like when I came in at 197, I was 220 a week before. I'm lighter than that now, stronger than that now, bigger than that now. Again, this is one of the lightest body weights I've been at. Last time I was this light was when I came back to Texas from the UK, and I did get a bit lighter than this. But I don't think I was this lean. So we're making progress. All right, so after the normal skull crushers, I did the incline ones. Totally different angles. What I'm trying to do is make sure I'm hitting these triceps from all possible angles. And there's a lot of debates on some of the behind the head stuff. There is some contention I'm seeing from other researchers and experts saying that, look, that may not make the long head grow more. And that's been fascinating. Because keep in mind, regular extensions do really well versus presses in the studies. But I'm still going to work these angles, and it felt very different. But I also feel like based on some of the other data I've seen, the decline type angles may work the long head really effectively. So after I did these, I wanted to try the decline. But these did feel good. But that's the thing. It hits the tricep very, very different from that skull crusher. You can tell they're very different exercises. And really, we're mostly just changing the shoulder angles, right? Changing the shoulder angles. Obviously, the elbow does the same thing. I don't have the shoulder mobility to do these close like the others do, so I grip it on that, that middle part of the easy curl bar. But again, it works, it stretches. At least I get that deep stretch in the tricep. I've taken these sets pretty much to failure. Like those, I'm having to pull that over because I can't move it. It's not locking. So that's when you know I reached failure. And again, I think we can see with these angles, skin is slowly tightening up. So I tried to do the decline. I didn't even take weight off. I just went straight to that weight. I managed to get about 8 reps each time. They felt a little awkward because, again, I'm trying to get up and down on that bench. But it definitely, I could feel the long head working. So for anyone who doesn't think that this works the long head hard, I felt my long head, and it felt very different. So just like all 3 of the presses felt different, all 3 of the tricep exercises felt different. So we worked these muscles from 3 different angles with hard sets, 3 different hard sets, giving me 9 total sets. And then the last one of these I went to failure and had to drop it on the ground. I couldn't get it out of the bottom. That is one of the nice things on this exercise. It's easy to fail it without risking hitting your face. You can just drop it on the floor. It was right above the floor. That one was almost failure. Again, getting up from there is not the funnest thing in the world. Good thing I do ab work. And this set definitely hit true failure. It just stuck and I had to drop it behind me. Triceps were on fire. To put it mildly, definitely felt the triceps. So my chest was extremely pumped, burning everything else at the end of the others and putting up good numbers. We moved a lot of weight for a lot of reps. The extensions, getting fatigued again because I couldn't get 10s on those, even though in theory it should be an easier exercise. All right, pullovers, I was getting 20 plus reps with a 45. I'm like, I got to increase the weight. So I put a 25 in the mix. We took it up from 45 to 70, did my 3 sets of 10, paused at the end to make the last ones harder. And I may work with this weight for a little while and just see if I can pick up reps and volume with it. Again, felt good. Didn't quite get the same intense burn the 20 plus reps sets get, but it still felt good. But again, I do want to progress on this. I don't want to treat it like a ultra high rep exercise only. I do need to get progression on it, and it will help again with the shoulder mobility. The hanging leg raises, I like to do these in between the pullovers. It feels really good because a lot of times my abs cramp on these leg raises, and I feel like they get re-stretched out on the pullovers because of the way it pulls. It stretches the abs, stretches all the intercostals, serratus, all of that. So it seems to take any possible cramping back out. So again, it's really nice to do these on my chest day between pullovers as a superset at the end. And again, I only did 2 sets because I'm doing abs every day. And some of the days, like the lower body days, I'm doing as many as 3 or 4 sets. So the ab work is getting a lot. And so for those, again, curious why I do it, it's good for my shoulders. Since I'm doing everything beltless and I'm cutting, I really want my abs to get stronger. I need them to get stronger, need them to get thicker. And then it gives me all the grip work I need. I don't have to even worry and think about grip work at all for my deadlift or any of that from the hanging leg raises. It just adds any other grip work I need since I do all my pulling strapless. So again, I feel like it helps with my forearms, helps with my grip, because I'm essentially doing grip work every single day. I'm also getting shoulder mobility every day. And I feel like all of this has made a difference. It's letting me even do those wide grip inclines and touch my chest easily. So overall, super happy with today's workout. Like I can say this is definitely one of the better workouts I remember, and this is what I'd like to see. This is what I want to see. So I came into this workout fully recovered, completely refreshed. Even though I had a hectic weekend, a lot of activity, again, I came in fresh, I came in strong in spite of losing weight. So I really can't expect more than this. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.